Good evening. I'm Greg Sharpe. Our sports ticker brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. College basketball will crown its national champion tonight as the Yukon Huskies tangle with San Diego State. The Huskies are a 7-point favorite. The game doesn't tip off for quite a while. 8:20 Central Time from Houston. The women's national championship game yesterday between LSU and Iowa shattered the previous high for viewers for a title game. 9.9 million viewers watched as LSU won their first women's crown. No practice today for the Huskers. The Big Red scrimmage Saturday, and afterwards, the head coach said he was pleased with what he saw.
The offense really, the offense really moved the ball well today. The offense looked ahead of the defense. I think a lot of it was the quarterbacks running. You get to practice and the quarterback drops back and we blow it dead. Well, today, they had to try to hit Heinrich and to try to hit Chuba and try to hit Jeff, try to hit Richard, and then they bounced off it and ran for big long plays. So that added in a dynamic that we haven't really exposed to the defense. But I thought it was not a ton of penalties and it looked like a pretty clean. We had Big Ten officials, so it was good to get all that kind of in the stadium. It's my first time coaching in that stadium, so it's pretty cool.
The next spring workout set for tomorrow. The spring game, April the 22nd at 1 o'clock. Over 53,000 tickets have already been sold. A couple of afternoon games in the big leagues today. The Brewers won their home opener, blasting the Mets 10-0. The Giants spoiled the White Sox. Lid lifter at home, 12-3 the final. The 1890 Initiative helping Husker student-athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more or donate, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now get ready. A full night of Sports Highlight coming up right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Ralston again delivers 1-2. And Andrews swings and blasts it. Deep left center field. And gone! Home run, Brooke Andrews. And Nebraska takes the lead in the sixth.
To the fall, the 0-1 slider ripped to right, hit pretty well. Ryan Mooring going back, looking up, and it is gone. Home run, Max Anderson, a 3-run blast to right field, and the Huskers have taken a 3-0 lead.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome, another week of Sports Highlight coming your way. So glad to have you with us here on a Monday night. Hope you had a great weekend. This is, for some of you, kind of a short week because of the Easter holiday coming up a week from yesterday. Good Friday coming up on Friday. So I think even the Huskers have tweaked their football practices a little bit. They're not going to have a Saturday practice so that some guys, if they want to slip home for a day or two, can do some of that. So if you're having a short week yourself, good for you. You already made through one full day. We will here in 2 hours. How was your weekend? Good weekend?
It was a good weekend.
Yesterday was beautiful outside.
It was really nice. That's kind of more like it. I wish it would have stayed more than a day, but hopefully it'll be back pretty soon.
Supposed to be in the 80s tomorrow, I think.
All right, I'll take it.
Really warm. Men's game coming up later tonight. What a women's game yesterday. That captured the nation's attention, as I mentioned in the ticker, big TV numbers. And a lot of that, like her or not, is Caitlin Clark. They've got a star, and people gravitate toward a star. It wasn't the best of games. It was kind of dominated by LSU, and their great shooting, and a lot of storylines came out of that game, but it was really, really good spotlight for the sport.
LSU's great shooting that they haven't really shot it well all year. That has not been what they've known for, but that's kind of what Iowa did. They dared them to make shots, and you got to credit LSU for knocking down those shots. That's exactly what they did to South Carolina. South Carolina either didn't take the shots or didn't make them when they had them open. LSU actually was able to capitalize on some of those open looks that Iowa dared them to shoot, and so tip your hat to that. I am so happy for the sport of women's basketball. This whole tournament, the numbers, they've continued to break records. I said this on Friday night's show, but the Final Four ticket was like $300 more. The lowest price for a Final Four ticket for the women's games were $400 more than what the men's Final Four tickets were. So
now the men are playing in a dome with 70,000
I get it,
fans.
but still, just the fact that the women's tickets are that much, to me, that are $400 to get into the Final Four, that's big for the game. I mean, it's never happened before where they've had to charge that much, and the records that were broken in the Elite Eight game between Iowa and Louisville with Haley Van Lith and Caitlin Clark. There's just so many positives that this game continues to grow. And we saw how quickly the game of softball grew when they started putting it on TV and started showcasing the women's softball game. And now it's a really popular sport, and it gets a lot of views. And we're really seeing the way that, the coverage and the promoting and actually doing things. The women deserve the same thing that the men's, the March Madness, everything that's the focus that's been put on the women's game is paying off. Also, you're seeing a lot of good players that have also helped the game that have been around and Caitlin Clark certainly is one of those that you have to tip your cap to for helping to advance this game. There's a lot of people that are tuning in to watch her.
She's the most popular college basketball player, period.
Yeah.
And it's not really close.
Even with men, you and I were sitting here trying to think of a male student athlete that even was comparable. And there's really not.
There isn't. And that's awesome for the sport, because there have been good women's players in the past, but nobody's captured the imagination like she has. And part of it is the way she plays. And a lot of the blowback today was about Angel Reese doing the John Cena hand in front of the face toward Caitlin Clark at the end of the game. That has fired up a lot of people today, and you're fired up about it.
I am, because I think it's ridiculous if people are mad about it. To me, it's like I think people are tuning in, and that's the only women's game, only Iowa game that they've watched all year long. To me, Caitlin Clark has instigated that, has brought that on a little bit. I've sat here in this seat how many times. I can separate. I respect so much what Caitlin Clark has done for the game. I respect her game. It's unbelievable the way she passes. I am a sucker for great passing. It's why I love watching Jazz Shelley play so much. I love great passing. I love how she can pass the basketball, distribute the basketball, her vision for the court. It's so impressive how she can pull up from the logo. She's worked very, very hard on her game. You have to tip your cap to that. That doesn't just happen. It's not all God-given. She has lived in the gym to be able to do the things that she's done, and also, you have to also respect that people are tuning in to watch her, and that a lot of people did tune in to watch that championship game because of how much hype was around her and them knocking off South Carolina. But also, I think there's a lot of Nebraska fans that have also texted at me on this text line that have called in that don't like the way Caitlin Clark plays because of those antics. And so I think she kind of brought that on a little bit. And I don't think a lot of women's basketball fans, there's a lot of people that got on the radio today that maybe were tuning in for the first couple of times watching Iowa and like Caitlin Clark for what she does. But there's a lot of people that don't like the way she plays the game because of those antics. So to me, I think Angel Reese wouldn't have done that had Caitlin Clark not done it. Caitlin Clark did it in the Elite Eight. Caitlin Clark antagonizes people, and she feeds on the crowd. I was telling you before we went on the air, she's a lot like Baker Mayfield when I covered Baker Mayfield in college. Thrives on that. Thrives in those hostile environments. But she brings it on when people are going to come at you. And she's got to be able to take it. And I think she took it just fine. She'll probably put that on repeat for the offseason and come out on a different kind of level next year. But to me, she acts that way, so she brings it on. I don't think Angel Reese would have done anything like that had Caitlin Clark not done those antics before.
So your point is that justifies her doing it? I'm not. I'm going to go, I don't like Caitlin Clark's antics, and I've said the same thing you have, so I can have the right to say I don't like Angel Reese's antics either. It's distracting.
And that's fine, but I'm saying the people that are just coming at Angel.
I know, but I'm not that way, because I do watch women's basketball. I don't like what Angel Reese did. It took away from their moment. It took away from an unbelievable thing for Kim Mulkey, who's the only coach ever to win national titles at two different schools. They won 9 games 2 years ago. Now they're a national champion. It's unbelievable. And a lot of people don't like Kim Mulkey either, because they don't think the way she dresses, the way she acts, she kind of teaches a really rough and tough style of play. She did it at Baylor. She's doing it at LSU. But you got to respect the fact she's got rings now at 2 different schools. I do, and she turned it around very quickly, which isn't easy to do. I'm not a fan of Kim Mulkey. There's, going back to the things that happened at Baylor before Matt Rule took it over, and Kim Mulkey got a lot of hate for some of the things she did defending some of the things that happened at Baylor. I won't even get into that at this point, but I'm not a huge fan of Kim Mulkey, or LSU for that matter, or the SEC. I think I've gone on record here on this program, but had she not maybe done it right there in her face, but I also think too it's because
she's a woman, and it's a woman, and I don't know. I don't know. Had the same situation happen in the men's game tonight, would people be mad about it? Would you be mad about it? Yes, but I don't think it would have caused such an uproar as it has today. If it happened in the men's game and it carried over to today, the way that it did in the women's game to today.
You and I were talking about this before we went on the air. I think college basketball has allowed a lot of that to take place.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of taunting that the sport that we cover a lot here, the football, you can't do that. You taunt here, it's a 15-yard penalty, and if you get 2 of those in a game, you're out. They allow a lot of that to happen in college basketball, even with the antics of the coaches a lot of times. And Mulkey's one of them, who's dancing around and bumping into officials on the sideline. They allow a lot of that in college basketball. I think it needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, you see the crowd shushing all the time, men's and women's. You see the running down with the threes, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the celebration all the time. And I mean, I think it's what a lot of people like about it. But yeah, I mean, it's when you're talking about college football and the littlest things get penalized. Yeah. Maybe if this is what's going to be the concentration, or what people are going to be caught up on, instead of celebrating that it was the highest watch game and the things that Caitlin Clark did on the court. It's all about this, and that's what's so sad about this whole situation. That's what's frustrating to me. And I just think let's talk about how this game has grown and how excited people were to tune in and watch that game, and how it's comparable, the numbers, to what we've seen in the men's as far as people tuning in. So to me, I hate that it's taken away, because I think that a lot of people have taken it too far. Do I think it should have been done? No, but I also don't think Caitlin Clark should do some of the things she does. I'm not justifying either way, but because I've sat here and said that over and over again, I don't love the way she acts sometimes. But if you're gonna act that way, you better be able to take it. It's why Baker Mayfield is taunted the way he's taunted. The people that go out there and act like that and win are gonna be the most hated people when they go into the opposing team's arenas. It's just kind of when you play that way and you flaunt it like that, it's what you're going to get in return, and that's kind of part of it. If you're going to act that way, you better be ready to get it right back, because that's what people are going to do.
Folks, you have some thoughts on that? Text, calls, 402-413-2400. Here's what we have on the program tonight. Mentioned the Huskers scrimmaged on Saturday. We're going to hear another clip or two from Matt Rule. Also, Jessica has recently talked with Heinrich Harberg, the quarterback from out in central part of the state of Nebraska, who's making some headlines. His name keeps getting brought up over and over again by the coaches and even some of his teammates talking about that. So we're going to hear from Heinrich coming up later on in the hour. And hour number 2, it's our baseball show. Will Bolt will be here. Huskers split their doubleheader Saturday down in Abilene, Texas. Get ready to go to Manhattan to take on K-State tomorrow night, and then up to Ann Arbor to battle the Michigan Wolverines over the weekend. Again, 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to be part of the show. It's our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. More of the show coming up next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
You ain't seen nothing.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. Like the Ford F-150 or the all-new Ford Super Duty. Or check out Ford Maverick and Ford Ranger pickups. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford tough truck can do for you. There's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. Based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
Your story, it lives in the capital city, where we take Nebraska nice to another level, and we always show up for Go Big Red. In your story, a pioneering spirit has built a community that cares. Your story is the story of Lincoln, told by those who live it and love it. Whether that's breaking news from the Capitol or sending you to the best shows in town. And here in the Lincoln Journal-Star is where it comes to life. Lincoln Journal-Star, where your story lives.
Baseball season has arrived, and your local Cenex has all your favorite snacks and beverages for the game. So whether you're hitting the road for an away game, headed to Haymarket Park, or going to cheer on your favorite local team, make Cenex your destination for top quality fuel, your favorite snacks, and service from a local smile. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally at Cenex.
Other irrigation companies are finally discovering what T&L Irrigation is known for decades. Continuous movement is the best way to irrigate. While they'll have you pay for complicated upgrades to get steady, even water application with their high-voltage electric systems, all T&L Irrigation pivots and linears are propelled safely and smoothly by powerful hydrostatic drive. Continuous movement isn't new, it's the T&L standard. Don't get talked into a reinvented wheel. Pick the proven original. Call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com. T&L, like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraska Innovation Campus creates partnerships between business and the University of Nebraska. Partners lease office space, laboratories, pilot plants, and greenhouses. All centrally located with easy access to University of Nebraska talent and resources. Nebraska Innovation Campus, creating spaces and culture that inspire. Learn more at innovate.unl.edu.
Bring even more action to your drive when you purchase your next vehicle at Woodhouse Buick GMC. From dependable SUVs to durable trucks, we have something for everyone. Drive with purpose in the 2023 GMC Terrain or discover just how tough the GMC Sierra 1500 can be. Plus, receive no monthly payments for 90 days on your next GMC vehicle. Explore our current inventory in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade. WBC, see dealer. Details expires 4/3/23.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Matt Moorhead or Joanne Shamanek in Lincoln or Scott Jeffers in McCook today.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. Talking about yesterday's Iowa LSU game. Mark on our text line said, you guys talk about refs or officials policing the game. You have to be careful with that as well, because then you have officials ringing players up on ticky-tack fouls, technicals, penalties, similar to the tech called on Clark yesterday. It's a fine line on letting players be who they are and policing the fun or gamemanship out of the game. You've done some research on the Clark technical. Apparently there'd been a warning earlier in the game.
Yeah, so that's part of it. You get a warning, and then the next one is you're going to get popped. And so this is from the referee after the game. The pool reporter asked her about it. Iowa received a delay of the game warning in the third period at the 7:28 mark for batting the ball away after a made basket, causing a delay. The second offense was when number 22 from Iowa picked up the ball and failed to immediately pass the ball to the nearest official after the whistle was blown. So she basically just threw it behind her back, and there was not even an official very close. I understand people think, oh, there was not a delay of the game, quote unquote, is because it bounced off an official and came right back, but a photographer. Had those camera people not been there, it rolled all the way off.
Yeah.
So it's just part of it, like trying to make sure that you keep those players under wraps, which Caitlin Clark has to be, Kim Mulkey has to be, but they had already received the warning. That's why she got the technical right there. Iowa had already had that warning.
Now the text came in, the officials need to be taken to task, and coaches like Mulkey need to be teed up or ejected for boorish on-court behavior. I kind of agree with that. Even bigger than Kim Mulkey. I just think college basketball coaches get away with a lot, and I mean that's just kind of what the sport.
And certain coaches get away with more
than others.
And certain players and the star treatment is absolutely there.
Yep.
But there are certain players that get treated differently.
Let's go to the phones. Go to West Point. Pete, good evening, Pete. Welcome to the program.
How are you doing this evening?
Good.
I'll give my comments and see what you think about it. I'd like to get your response. I guess for me, I find it kind of a travesty in coaching that you allow and you develop players that have that kind of attitude on both teams, both those players. It's a team game, not an individual game. And Coach Osborne used to get away with that crap. He would stop it right away. I think we need better coaches. You know, they're there to develop players, but they're also to develop people. And I don't see too much development in those two people to the good side in society. I think they've got away with a big head, and they think they're somebody. And I think a good coach wouldn't allow it. Should have called the timeout when it happened, talked to the players, set them on a bench, and said that's not allowed here. And I think better coaching would be good for basketball, I guess, in my opinion.
Hi, Pete. Thanks.
Yeah, Kim Mulkey's not going to do that.
No, what's her style?
She literally said that in her post-game interview. She allows her players to be characters and, play with that edge. I mean, I can't remember exactly how she phrased it, but she basically said that she lets them be who they are, and she always has. Play with that. Gosh, what was the word she used? But basically play with that edge. And she allows them to do that, and she's always allowed them to do that. She played like that. She played with players that played like that, and so that's just kind of how Kim Mulkey is. That's kind of how all her players are.
And Dawn Staley,
or all her teams.
I talked about this with you off air too. Dawn Staley, South Carolina's coach, they play a very physical style of play. They're not a great shooting team. Their best shot's a missed shot because they can get the offensive rebound and throw it back in, and they're all over you defensively. They just play very ferocious defense. That's their style. But then after the game the other night, she's like, quit calling my players thugs and street fighters and those type of things. Well, that's kind of the style you play with. So own it, I think. Own it. It's worked. You've been very, very successful. I hadn't lost a game all year till the other night. But to then run away from what you really are, that seems odd to me, too.
Well, and I guess it goes back, and I didn't realize this, but Gino Auriemma came back earlier this year when South Carolina beat UConn. Gino was kind of griping. He's saying that he was sick of it. And so it kind of has been a year-long thing. So it might have, culminated by that. But yeah, I mean, you were kind of saying kind of like the Detroit Pistons back in the day. I mean, that's bad boys. That's how you win games. And you get, it's like West Virginia Huggy Bear, and Press Virginia. They win games that way. And you know that that's what you're going to play. And you better come ready to play tough and physical because that's the style. And kudos to you for getting players to buy into that because not everybody wants to play basketball that way.
Just saw a thing from Pete Thamel, college sports writer. Got a quote from John Adams. This bothered me maybe more than the Angel Reese whole thing at the end of the game. John Adams, former NCAA national coordinator of men's basketball officiating, said, quote, from a fan standpoint, there was enormous disappointment with how that game was officiated because the best players were not playing. Having the level of officiating in that type of game, I think, really hurt the meteoric rise of women's basketball. There's not perfect officiating anywhere ever, but, man, that was awful. I thought it was a really poorly officiated game.
I think it too is just because it's just two completely contrasting styles that it just Iowa doesn't really play that physical and Baylor does, and Iowa doesn't really necessarily lock down defensively, and LSU does, and it just, to me, I think it just, the flow wasn't there more than anything. But Caitlin Clark is going to play with 4 fouls, and she did. Yeah. She didn't miss that, but she played 35 minutes. She's going to play, and she's a player that you trust to be on the floor. But to me, Monica Zanano being out,
she played
hurt
22
that team
minutes
more than anything.
Yeah.
Her being on the bench hurt more than Caitlin having the fouls.
All right, good stuff. All right, Husker football. Mentioned on the ticker they had a scrimmage on Saturday, and Coach Royal said between 85 and 90 plays, and one of his biggest takeaways was he liked what he saw from the quarterback room.
I thought they played really well. They all bring something different to the table. So, I think we probably turned the ball over twice, so some things we have to correct. But we got a lot of good situations. We got third down, we got 2 minute. We got red zone, and I thought for the most part they played really well. And again, that added dynamic that they bring, some of the guys bring of being able to run. So when Richard's in there, we do some different things with Richard. When Heinrich's in there, we do some different things with him. And I was really pleased with the quarterbacks today.
So there's the coach kind of raving about the quarterbacks. You, a week or so ago, got a chance to catch up with Heinrich. We've been hearing his name a lot, Jessica. This is a guy that broke a lot of state records for rushing, throwing yards as a quarterback. In fact, some of the records he broke were Scott Frost's records that he broke at the high school level, and you had a chance to talk to him, and he's also a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, so remember when they had, right before spring ball started, they had the competition where they had all the different sports that they were playing, and he brought down the house when they went over to play some hoops. So that's where we start the interview, is asking him about how he competed there in that competition there in the slam dunk contest. All right, well, before we talk any football, we got to talk about that basketball performance. What went into that dunk?
That dunk contest, I was captain of that team for that week. We were a little bit behind, so I knew I had to do something special. Honestly, I thought we were going to have a couple more dunks, so I was just trying to put something down.
Did you know what you were going to do?
Well, so the funny thing is that was my second dunk, the one that got showed. My first dunk I thought was better. But I did, so my first one was a windmill, and then the second one, I was actually going to try and throw it up and then do a windmill off the backboard, but it was a little too high, so I just reached it and put it down.
When you found out that basketball was one of the competitions, were you like, heck yes, let's go?
If it would have been shooting, I would have been a little scared, but when they said dunk contest, I was like, all right, let's do this.
How many points did you guys get for that?
I think 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was it like when you throw that down, and again, just overall the camaraderie that you're seeing from this football team for everybody to rally around you, be so fired up after that moment?
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know. I mean, when I put that one down, I didn't know if it went down. I was trying to find the ball, and then when everyone swung, I was like, oh, I must have put it down, and that was a really good moment, I feel like.
You were captain that week for the team.
I was, yes, ma'am.
What did that mean to you to be chosen? Because when the coaching staff went through that and chose new captains, what did that mean for them to select you to be that guy?
Yeah, I think it just showed, it validated that the effort I've been putting in has been recognized, and so I was really appreciative to be selected.
Gabe Irvin just talked about that this coaching staff rewards guys that are doing the right things and putting in the hard work. What does that mean as a player that is recognized?
Yeah. I think just being able to put in effort and to be able to see that the coaches recognize it and then reward it. The reward is just something on top, a cherry on top. I think the recognition is the biggest part for a lot of us.
Well, what went into your off season? When you stood out and you were a top performer, how did you attack this off season?
Yeah, I think just coming back, I just had a renewed sense of energy. Ready to just dive in with this new coaching staff, ready to show them that I can go, put everything I got into every day.
What have you liked about this coaching staff?
I think kind of so far we haven't been able to see everything, but like I said, just the fact that they recognize effort and then they recognize talent and they try to develop that talent has been huge for a lot of us, I think.
What's it been like getting to know Coach Satterfield?
He's a little different, but I think every quarterback coach is different. But he's an awesome guy, really smart, ready to work with him.
How have you guys gone about in the quarterback room getting to know a little bit of the new offense and what he wants to instill?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is working together as a quarterback room, and that's something that ever since I got to Nebraska, I feel like has always been a really key part. Quarterback room, we're not clashing against each other. We're all working together, trying to get each other better, and I think that really helps.
Yeah, on the sideline, I've seen that. You guys are all talking to each other and seeing what you see and passing along. Why is that so important to you guys as a group to be able to do that, no matter who's out there?
Yeah, I think then you just have a sense of confidence when you go out on the field. That the guys that are behind you are, they're behind you. Like they're cheering for you. They're going to evaluate you. Sometimes you come off the field and they're like, "Hey, man, like you can't do that. Like you got to make that throw, or you got to do this, got to do that." And I think just knowing that you always have another 6 set of eyes really helps you develop.
New staff, new offense, but how much do you feel like just the game overall is slowing down for you?
Yeah, this is my second year now. Almost 2.5 years being here. Coming from a Class C1 school in central Nebraska. So I think finally being able to just put my athletic ability and the game slowing down, it's going to help me out a lot.
What's your goals for this spring with some guys out? How do you approach being a guy that's probably going to get a lot of opportunities?
Yeah, you just seize every opportunity, I think. And like Coach Rule's talked about for the last couple of days, there's going to be failure. This is a completely new staff, completely new offense. We're going to mess up. I think just embracing that and trying to develop from those mistakes is going to be key.
And just overall as a quarterbacks, how do you help this staff transition? And because I know it's a process of getting to know what they want in each individual practice and getting everywhere you need to be. How much do you guys as a quarterback group play a role in that?
Yeah, I think it's huge. Obviously, we don't have to put forward all the effort that the other guys do. We take 3 steps and we throw a ball. But when we do get the opportunity to finish a play, fake a run or something, we got to attack that and show the guys that we're willing to put in the work too.
You got some wide receivers coming back, but added a lot as well. How have you liked the talent there to throw the ball to?
Awesome. Always love new fast guys, and that's one thing I noticed about some of these new guys is a lot of speed, ability to go up and get the ball, and make guys miss.
What do you hope when spring ball is done? What do you hope this coaching staff learns about you?
I think it's just a continued that I'm going to give everything I have, because I feel like that's all you can really ask out of us is, we're going to attack every day. We're just going to come every day and just give it everything we have, and I think that's all I want to do this spring.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I was super impressed getting to chat with him, but I think just, again, him saying how he had a renewed sense of energy when this coaching staff came in, and now we've heard it from Gabe Irvin, heard it from a few different players about, if you get in here and do what you're supposed to do and work hard, the coaching staff's going to recognize that. And they don't care how you came in, if you were one of their recruits, if you weren't, if you're taking care of business the way you're supposed to be and meeting those expectations, you're going to get rewarded for that. Obviously, he's going to have some opportunities here this spring, and it sounds like he's making the most of them right now.
Looks like he's taken what he did and impressed him in the winter stuff into the actual playing on the field. So that's a good sign.
And for as many rumors and talks as we've heard about him switching positions, it doesn't sound like that's something that's happening anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Bill in Portland goes, are Casey and Logan still not? No, they're still not. They're not throwing, either one of them.
They're throwing.
Casey's trying to, I think.
They're throwing. Well, Casey's throwing because he told me at Pro Day that he was about to be released. He had a couple days. No, he's not going to be going full speed in practice, but he should be by the end of spring ball, at least being able to throw
And I get the sense he's further along than Logan.
Yeah, I think so.
But
they were both running around the other day when I went out there in their jerseys, their whatever color jerseys that they're not supposed to.
And I think this staff looks at Logan as a little bit like Heinrich, great athlete. That okay, we got to find a way to get him on the field somewhere. Maybe not a quarterback, but somewhere.
Yeah, and obviously not being able to see exactly what he can do right now, but they've seen some of the things that he can do. So they're gonna, they're having her coach Rule talk about the talent that's in this room, and they're really only seeing half of it right now. So just wait till fall camp gets here and that competition really unfolds.
Somebody's got to leave, right? I mean, I anticipate somebody leaving after spring. There's just too many bodies in there.
I mean, who's it going to be?
I don't know, because Coach Rural mentioned Torres in the postgame that we do different things when he's out there or if Heinrich's out there. So
and you were talking about looking the part. Richard Torres looks the part. He had pads on for the first time. Remember the last game of the season? Was it the last home game? Because Chuba was hurt.
That's right.
And
so
Logan had been hurt, and Casey was coming off the injury. So Richard was the one that was in the depth chart, and boy, he looks massive in
those. He's 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, well, he was a basketball player. Didn't really even play football till I think freshman or sophomore year.
We heard Coach Whipple last fall say Richard had the strongest arm in the room.
Yeah, I mean, he's an athlete, so it's just I think he's probably pretty green, which will be fascinating to see what the staff, how they can develop that.
It's interesting because fresh start for everybody. They don't have any preconceived notions of what you can or can't do. And so I think a lot of guys, and maybe Heinrich's the prime example of that, are really taking advantage of it.
And you wonder, too, with two guys being out, what that sense of where you are stacks up, like where you might be thinking, considering, I'm going to see how this spring goes and see maybe I will enter the portal depending on, but now you're basically competing without two guys out there.
Yeah.
So you don't even know where you're going to stack up when you go into fall camp.
There was some concern late last week on Ben Scott, the transfer from Arizona State, who looks like he's going to be the center. He did, Coach Rural mentioned after Saturday's scrimmage that Ben did get rolled up on at last Thursday's practice. He said we were concerned at first, but it looks like it's going to be okay. He's going to miss a little bit of time, but nothing long term. So sigh of relief there, because I think he has come in and really grabbed a hold of the center position for the Cornhuskers. All right, need to slip a break in. Still time if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. 402-413-2400. That is our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. More of the show coming up.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. Husker students on the debate team and Bateman competition public relations team earned national championships this past year, marking a first for each program. The debate team claimed victory with one of the youngest teams in the country, while the Bateman competition public relations team won their championship by building a PR campaign for the Lymphoma Research Foundation.
You ain't seen nothing.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. Like a Ford F-150 or the all-new Ford Super Duty. Or check out Ford Maverick and Ford Ranger pickups. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. There's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. Based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. you got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealers, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. We started hearing this awful story toward the end of last week about Husker wrestler Peyton Robb, who, while he was at the NCAA championships down in Tulsa, noticed a huge bruise on his leg. He's been in the hospital. He's had surgeries. It went sepsis. He's had blood clots. Man, what an awful sounding story for this young man who's had such an amazing career at Nebraska and had an amazing season. And you kind of wonder, how did that affect him in the Big Tens and the NCAAs?
To me, looking back, I think there's no doubt that it had to. I mean, it happened, at least he noticed it while he was down there competing. They didn't know how serious it was, but you have to think just everything that was going on internally had to have affected him. He just didn't, and to me, I don't even think he looked like himself in the Big Ten championships.
Right. He got beat in the finals there.
And that was his first loss, and so then he comes back. And I just, and I had heard he had been sick, and to me, he just did not look like the Peyton that we had been seeing, but hearing some of the details, boy, scary stuff, and not just, you're talking about life-threatening, potentially, things that he's had to overcome, but thank goodness he's out of the hospital and he's on the road to recovery. It's still a long road. He's going to have to go through some rehab, but the news did come out that he's been released, and so he'll start that back. But again, another guy that you don't question for a second will be able to come out on the right end of this thing, and he'll bounce back for it.
Just so scary to see somebody, and obviously it's a very physical sport. I'm sure it happened somehow in a match or something, training, something that had happened to him, but just somebody there was a doubt whether he was going to live at one point in time.
And I think it's really rare, and it took a while to figure out exactly what was going on from my understanding. So, but yeah, I'm just so glad that he's out, and hopefully, he's so tough, and that, who knows too if he probably was hurting or didn't feel right and didn't say anything because he wanted so badly. This is a guy that wants so badly to not only win a national title for himself, but for Nebraska, for his coaches. This place means a lot to him. And, we've heard Coach Manning brag about him dating back to last year. This is going to be a national champion, a guy that competes for a national title. And I think he probably just refused to see anything, despite what his body was telling him, probably just wanted to fight. And eventually his body gave up on him. But, hopefully he'll get right and be able to get back right to where he was. And of all the people to go through that you would expect to bounce back and come back stronger for, Peyton Robb to me would be at the top of that list.
Well, our thoughts and prayers with him, and speedy recovery, and get back on your feet and get going. So, heard that story late last week. I think, just gave me shudders to think about that. All right, 402-413-2400, the number to call us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. Also, we have time to tell you that First Interstate Bank, built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com, member FDIC. Back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Woodhouse Mazda is redefining car buying, so you can shop whenever you want, wherever you want. Shop our inventory, apply for financing, and start your deal online at woodhouseplacemazda.com or woodhousemazda.com. With our lineup of new Mazda CUVs like the Mazda CX-5 or a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle, we have a vehicle to fit the needs of your lifestyle. Our 2 convenient locations and our commitment to excellence make Woodhouse Mazda the easy choice.
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it, into the corners, and even through storms. T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com to learn more. T&L, like no other.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Time to see what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. Husker baseball tomorrow night down in Manhattan, Kansas, take on K-State. 6 o'clock first pitch. We'll be on the air on the network at 5:30. Husker softball headed back east. They'll be at Maryland for a 3-game weekend series starting on Friday afternoon. That is what is on tap, presented by Bud Light. Men's National Championship game. We're about an hour and a half away now from that. UConn a 7-point favorite over San Diego State. What you got in this one?
Oh, it's going to be hard to pick against UConn, but I know that's who you're going with, so I'll go with San Diego State to keep it interesting.
You asked me earlier, do you consider UConn a blue blood program? If they win tonight, it'd be their 5th national title since '99.
And Duke and North Carolina have combined for that?
Have combined for the same number.
And they're blue bloods.
Yeah.
To me, yeah, they're a blue blood. I think what's crazy about UConn, it's with Duke and North Carolina, they seem to always be there and be in the conversation, and UConn's kind of a little bit of a roller coaster, but if they've won 5 national titles, then they're absolutely a blue blood.
And you think about the Big East, which they were in, they left, they've come back. Villanova's won a couple titles in the last 10 years. Now you got UConn with 4, maybe a 5th one tonight. The Big East is certainly right there with all the other power conferences for style of play and type of play.
No doubt about it. And UConn women are definitely a blue blood.
And they'll be back because their best player was hurt this year and she'll be back next year. So they'll certainly be back. But yeah, you talk about the Power 5 in football, and that's very true. I think it's 6 in basketball.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe more. I mean, you got a Mountain West team in San Diego State.
There's just more parity because you can get one good player can just make such a huge difference, or 2 good guards like that have played 6 years of basketball, which we're seeing. It just makes such a big difference, completely different than with football. I mean, the athletes, there's way more parity in basketball than football.
We got Coach Bolt coming up next hour. They were flying back from Dallas yesterday, and they were joined on their team flight, or the flight back, by the track and field team. They were down at the Texas Relays. Another great weekend for Darius Luff. He just ran away with 110 hurdles down there. He's having himself quite a year. Did great at the indoors a couple of weeks ago, and that's a guy that we've kind of been following him because he had that bad break at the Big Tens a year ago in the indoor with something got knocked around in the indoor facility. He thought it was the gun. He took off. He got disqualified. Man, he's doing some good things.
He wins it this year, and then unfortunately kind of had some weird stuff happen at the Nationals championships this year. But yeah, and that's kind of his event, but it's good to see him doing well on the outdoor track, too. They
go to the Kansas Relays in a couple weeks, and then Drake's of the outdoor season. And I'm telling you, folks, Nebraska might win a conference title, particularly on the men's side. But now all the throwers going, the javelin throwers, the discus, all those things that you don't do indoors. Nebraska's stocked in those, and that'll help the women's team as well. And
boy, do they have the sprinters coming after next year.
Yep, they sure do. All right, that'll take care of hour one. Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We'll talk baseball. The head coach is here for his weekly show. We'll do that coming up on the other side. Come on back, get your comments, questions ready for him. We'll talk some ball next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're a fan, you wear your team's jersey on your back and your heart on your sleeve. After a win, your world glistens. Lose, and the hurt permeates your soul. You'll always have a place with us in the Cox Fan Zone, where everyone can play and connect with other fans in a big group hug. See, in the Fan Zone, you're not some crazy fan. You're home.
Hey, Husker fans, this is Greg Sharpe, voice of the Huskers. Say Fan Zone into your Contour voice remote to play. Not at home? Visit Cox.com/fanzone. Go Huskers.
Hello, tomorrow.
We may not know exactly what you've got in store for us, for our routines and our normals. But here's the thing. Turns out, we've got this. We haven't seen everything, but we have seen ourselves be more ready for whatever you bring than we thought we would be. So when it comes to tomorrow, bring on the day. First Interstate, built for you. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Visit us at firstinterstate.com.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Husker fans, don't miss your chance to get a first look at new head coach Matt Rule and the 2023 Husker football team. Be in Memorial Stadium on Saturday, April 22nd for the annual Nebraska football red and white spring game presented by FNBO. Tickets are on sale now and are only $10 when purchased in advance and $20 on the day of the game. To secure your tickets today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111. This is the Husker Baseball Show on the Huskers Radio Network with head coach Will Bolt. Presented by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com.
First pitch to Josh. Breaking ball hammered to left. That is absolutely crushed. Way out of here over the hitting facility in left field.
There goes the run of the pitch. Hammered into right center field. That's a gapper. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Carey being waved home. He's going to score. Anderson pumping for 2, not stopping there. Digging for 3. The relay throw is not in time. An RBI triple for Anderson, and the Huskers lead it 3-0.
The 0-2 pitch from Garza. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 4 scoreless for Slim here in Mobile. And it's another 1-2-3 inning.
The 0-2 pitch. Drilled to left field. Going back is Calvin Hewitt looking up, and it is gone. Home run. Garrett Anglem, and the Huskers have the lead 4-3.
This pitch, Walsh cranks one to deep left center field. Hines back to the track, to the wall. It is gone. Will Walsh gets one out of here to the deepest part of the park.
Shea comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Little bouncer to third. Carey up with it. Fires to first. In time. And the Huskers have beaten number 7 Vanderbilt.
Here is your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you, and welcome to this week's show. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to talk some baseball with the head coach. It's our baseball hour for the week, and if you want to be a part of it with a call or a text, 402-413-2400. We can pass those along, get them on the coach, and get on his radar for that. Huskers back from a weekend down in Abilene, Texas. You went 1-1. You went 2-1 for the week because you beat North Dakota State in the midweek game at home. Obviously would have loved to have been 3-0. Your thoughts about what you saw this last week?
Yeah, Tuesday game was kind of an odd one in a lot of different ways. Not a lot of offense from either team, and what I consider us to be a really good offense, and they were really hot offense coming into it. So, good win there. Don't feel like you played amazingly well, but found a way to get the job done. Bryce Matthews obviously put a great swing on it late in that game to kind of cap it, and had a really good outing from Will Walsh there, and
phenomenal.
And Shea Shanneman closing the door when he needed to. It was nice to we had kind of a sour taste in our mouth about Corpus last year. Honestly, it was a pretty embarrassing game, at home. The way that series finished, so it was good to get back and play those guys. And I thought they were a better team this year than they were last year. So certainly shows, our improvement as a team. We played well in that game, and I didn't feel like we played well against Abilene Christian. They're a good team. They're really good. I think they may be probably the 3rd or 4th best team in the entire state of Texas. I think they're going to be a team that wins close to 40 games this year, and they're one of the top defending teams in the country as far as fielding percentage. They have a veteran lineup, and they've got – the starter we faced was 95-97, and he threw a slider for a strike, and big, tall kid. Really good arm. But I didn't think we played well in that game. We made 3 errors. Kaminska wasn't at his best, but I feel like we probably left 3 runs out there. We only gave up 6 hits in the game, and we probably left 3 runs out there, make an error in the outfield. We were in position to make a play. Didn't get off the field, cost us a run. I feel like we could have turned a double play. Didn't show up as an error, but I thought we could have turned the double play. I think 2 more runs scored after that. So left some things out there defensively a little bit, and obviously Max was kind of our entire offense that day. We needed a couple extra clutch hits. I think we were 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. But 2 in 1 week, it's got to be the focus. Just keep winning weeks, and obviously as you get into conference play, winning series is what you need to do on the weekend.
Had a tough call on the Burnham play in the 5th inning, and then I thought their right fielder was getting spun around by a ball off the bat of Griffin that I thought that was going to bang off the wall and be a double to jumpstart an inning for you as well. Sometimes those 2 or 3 little things flip a game.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I feel like the games we haven't won, we don't have to play perfect to win by any stretch of the imagination, but there's been some of that stuff that's happened. The teams that they've gone and made that play up against the fence. We saw at Illinois that Sunday game where their right fielder went crashing into the wall, probably saved 2 runs in that situation. They made that right fielder made a great play when it looked like we were kind of ready to make a comeback. And, yeah, it was a tough situation there with Burnham's ball.
3-man crew, that was part of it.
No replay, and 3-man crew. So,
And you had a runner on, so to set it up for the audience, you had a runner on, so the guy who would normally be at third base was over in the middle of the diamond, so all you had was the home plate umpire to view a call. Yeah, and it was, I don't want to criticize the officials, but it was a huge play. Yeah, it was a big play, and obviously we got to overcome that. I think we ended up setting an inning up even after that, and didn't score. But yeah, it would have made the inning different. It would have been second and third, and nobody out. The top of our order coming up with nobody out. So, and another again, it's kind of one of those things you look back at in some of the games that we haven't won in the last 20 games or so. Gabe Swanson hit a ball. I went back and looked at TrackMan. It was 103 miles an hour off his bat at a 31-degree launch angle. That is a home run like 99% of the time, and it was kind of a weird deal. Like, first baseman looked at Coach Marcuzzo after they caught the ball up against the fence when Gabe hit it, and he goes, that ball is a home run in this ballpark like every time. And it was just, again, it just kind of seemed like one of those days where they were on the right side of some of those plays. And like I said, we didn't help ourselves out defensively. That was kind of the difference in that game, and we've hung our hats on being a pretty good defensive team, and that – we needed to win a 3-2 game there potentially against a good team, and our defense, gave them a few extra runs. Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. I want to go back to Will Walsh. The strikeout number, Coach, I can't believe because he doesn't really have what you would classify as strikeout stuff. He doesn't throw 90-plus miles per hour, but he's getting a ton of swing and misses. How's he doing it? He does have a swing and miss changeup, and that's a tough pitch. It's a tough pitch, and when you can sequence it correctly, and you get a hitter thinking, okay, soft, and then sneak the fastball in there. That fastball, it's not like he throws 84. We've seen some guys at Nebraska through the years, left-handers in particular, that have gotten guys out throwing 84 miles an hour. Jake Myers being one, Kyle Kubat potentially being another. Although I know Kyle, don't want to offend you, Kyle. I know you threw a little bit harder than that at times, but he got away with it at times throwing 84, 86 because the changeup was really good and he could get the glove side fastball going. So that's to me, as a left-handed pitcher, if you can get the ball to your glove side. So when I say that, meaning hit the pitcher's glove side, so fastball into a righty. You don't have to throw really hard, but you get him thinking about that pitch, then it opens up the changeup, and that's what Will's been able to do effectively, is mix his pitches, and the sliders come along for him too, and he's been able to land that. He's done a great job because that changeup, we've seen it with our team at times when we inter squad. I mean, it's a tough pitch to hit. So he's done a really good job with that, and he's certainly earned more opportunities as a starting pitcher. You're not starting him tomorrow night. That would lead all of us to think that you're holding him for the weekend. Yeah, and that decision hasn't been made final yet with our staff. I think we still have to kind of weigh, are we going to potentially use him out of the pen tomorrow night? Are we going to potentially use him out of the pen over the course of the weekend? I think we'll make that probably decision in the next day or two, but he's certainly at the forefront of that conversation. If we are going to name a Sunday starter, he's the guy. We finally got a Garrett Anglim sighting. Pinch hit a couple of times Saturday. Got a base hit in one of his pinch hit appearances. Yeah, and that was the plan. I would have liked to have gotten him in the game on Tuesday against North Dakota State. He was basically cleared at that point in time to at least compete. He's coming along. It was good to get him in those games. He obviously came in a really big situation there against their closer against Abilene Christian and got a base hit. Got the inning started for us, and so he's feeling a lot better, changing directions. He's doing a lot better. He's been taking fly balls in the outfield. Don't think he's quite ready to go play outfield full bore just yet, but that could be coming at the end of the week. I think we'll have an opportunity to see him in the lineup tomorrow, potentially as a DH. Okay. Worked hard at his rehab, did he? Yeah, he has. He's been very diligent. I mean, Garrett he was probably our hottest hitter, or at least up there with Bryce and Max when he got hurt. So he's been chomping at the bit coming back. I think we've been, our training staff's done a great job. Our strength coach has done a great job kind of collaborating. Our nutrition, staff's done a great job just trying to get him, lined up to get back as fast as possible. So he's really close. I think, like I said, tomorrow night probably be a good opportunity to get him out there, and it doesn't hurt that it's actually going to be warm in Manhattan tomorrow night. Max had himself a great trip, a couple home runs over the weekend, one to almost dead center on Saturday. People are taking notice. D1 Baseball came out with their top 3 or 4 position guys at each position. He was, I think, their third to second baseman in the country. That surprise you at all?
No, not even a little bit. He's been an amazing defender there at second base. Turned some really nice double plays for us, and obviously with the bat, I mean, it's been pretty impressive what he's done. And you dig into the numbers even further, and I talk about probabilities with, you see the TrackMan numbers and exit velocity and everything. There's the batting average on a ball in play that is hit over 100 miles an hour. College baseball is like 750 to 850. That's typical batting average on a ball in play that's hit that hard. And then you get to 104 miles an hour, and it's like, it's basically a guaranteed hit. In this season, he's had like 7 balls that he's hit between 100 and 106 miles an hour that he hasn't gotten hits on.
Wow.
So as well as he's played and as great as his numbers are, he's probably had 4 balls that have taken maybe 8 RBI off the board for him, where outfielders make great catches. They're diving. They're going to the fence and left. They're going to the fence and right. So he's been amazing. He's been amazingly consistent. I think the thing we all wanted to see from him before the season was just he brings a type of leadership to the team where when he's got a great attitude and a smile on his face and he's not necessarily worried about anything else, the team normally follows suit, and he's done a great job this year. And every accolade he's going to get after this year, he's going to deserve. And I think you're going to see him be a pretty good draft pick as well.
Are teams, have they tried to adjust how they pitch him? Have you noticed some of that? Obviously they all try to do that.
Yeah. The thing about Max that makes him so unique is that he can hit all parts of the strike zone. So even if they're trying to pitch around him at times, like he can get to pitches and put good swings on it where other guys just maybe can't do it. So I've seen him try to attack him with slow stuff, and he's hit that hard. I've seen him try to attack him. He got to 2 strikes on Saturday against their starter in ACU, and he hits a 97-mile-an-hour fastball with 2 strikes right back up the middle. After seeing nothing but sliders the whole at bat. That's how special a hitter he is, because you just can't really speed him up or slow him down and get him off the fastball.
Yeah, it's been impressive to watch and follow. Jake Buns came in and did another nice job for you over the weekend. We're seeing him make progress. I wanted to see a little bit more moxie from him. I thought I saw a little bit of that on Saturday.
You saw what I saw. He came in, and Matthews made a great play, shortstop, to get off the field, diving play with the bases loaded. So that was huge there. But he got a ground ball. He got a ground ball in that situation, and then he came back out and had a great outing. Got 4 outs, so got him up and down again for, I think it was between 25 and 30 pitches. And like you said, probably even more so than just the doing well was the way he came off the mound, kind of reminiscent of pre-injury Jake Buns, where he's getting the dugout fired up. He's getting fired up, and it was a great sight to see.
Folks, do you want to help support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Head coach with us for the hour, 402-413-2400. That is our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. More with the coach coming up.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
One of the Nebraska Lottery's most explosively fun promotions is back. Cash Blast. Until April 18th, buy a 2x2 ticket, enter the voucher number, and you could win $5,000 or $500. If your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket or a multiple of 7 ticket, your prize is doubled. There will be 7 weekly drawings and 14 total winners in Cash Blast. So play today. You'll have a blast. But that goes without saying. 2x2 top prize odds, 1 in 105,000.
swings at this pitch and launches it to left, and that ball is gone. Grand slam, home run, Bryce Matthews. Breezy day in Manhattan.
Tune in tomorrow with Greg Sharpe and Ben McLaughlin as Nebraska baseball takes on Kansas State in a midweek matchup. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 p.m. on the Huskers radio network. Tune in to your local affiliates or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, it's Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald.
And I'm Amy Just from the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, listen, HuskerExtra.com and the Husker Extra mobile app have the best coverage of Nebraska sports.
Our reporting team shares features and analysis of all Husker sports, along with the latest recruiting news and more.
Plus, Husker Extra subscribers have access to our exclusive podcast, The Showdown, where we share our latest insights and expectations.
Go to HuskerExtra.com or search Husker Extra in your app store.
Download and subscribe today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. For the 5th straight year, the University of Nebraska system is a top 100 patent-earning institution. NU system researchers were granted 43 patents in 2021, with UNL researchers named as inventors on 25 of these patents. Husker patents include 3 projects with partners at the University of Nebraska Medical Center and 6 patents for a surgical robot developed by faculty in the College of Engineering.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Head baseball coach Will Bull with us until the top of the hour. If you want to be a part of this one, 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. Let's go to a texter. Brandon from Omaha for you, Coach. What are the things you see that we still need to clean up to be a team that can make a serious run at a Big Ten title?
Yeah, I think obviously there's always room to improve. I think some things that are give great reasons for optimism. You look at the statistics in terms of kind of where we're at and on the pitching side of things now. You know, I think we're second in the Big Ten in ERA.
You are.
I think we're maybe still the best fielding team in the conference and the best hitting team in the conference. So, and that's without necessarily firing on all cylinders at all points in time. So there's some good indicators there where, you know, what we've seen is we have a good team, and we've had some of those games that we talked about last segment where it just feels like there's been some weird things that have happened. Some of them have been self-induced, and certainly I feel like a good indicator of future success as well are some veteran pitchers that are starting to kind of turn the corner for us. Talked about Buns, talked about Shea. Those guys coming into their own and solidifying some bullpen roles. And obviously a Sunday starter, you know, that, or having at least another starter in there, that helps us clean up the midweeks. That helps us clean up on Sundays, which that's kind of been our bugaboo. And you look at the 20-game stretch, we've gone 14-6. Those losses have all come either on Tuesdays or Sundays. You know, the Saturday game with Kamenska, I think, was the first time in 11 games that we had lost a game started by Olsen or Kamenska. So there's a lot of great indicators there. That we do have a really good team, and that the best is yet to come, I think, with this group of guys, that if we can kind of just keep getting better and, you know, go on a run here in the next 15 or 20 games, then you're going to look up and we're going to like where we're at in the standings, and, you know, the record's going to round out to be about what we thought it would be.
Looking back, as you're not totally done with non-conference, but you're done with non-conference weekends. How did you feel like the schedule laid out? Did anything surprise you from week one to now at the non-con teams you've played?
Yeah, nothing really surprised me, and I don't think we're getting a lot of help in terms of some of the, you know, South Alabama hasn't been quite as good as they've been traditionally. Yeah. San Diego, you know, for that matter, has not necessarily won as many games as maybe we thought that they might as well. So, you know, obviously that Vandy win is a really big one. Hawaii's had, you know, a nice season up to this point. So there's some games there, you know, from the non-conference weekends. You know, that Vandy game obviously could end up being a really big one for us. Would have liked to have had maybe a little bit different start to that Ole Miss game. They've kind of scuffled a little bit. I think they're 1-8 in the SEC now. They were top 5 in the country when we played them. But I feel like if we don't give up an 8 spot in the first inning, you know, mostly with 2 outs, kind of an anomaly there too. And one of those kind of weird things that I've kind of mentioned in this last 20 games where you just don't see that. And that's kind of been if we can clean those Sunday games up, and again, you don't have to have 11 strikeout performances from Will Walsh. We just need to not have to chase 6 runs. I mean, we saw that in the Nichols game where we're chasing a bunch of runs. We saw it in the Illinois game where we're chasing runs the whole game, and you make both of those games late. So I feel like if we can clean some of those things up, and it looks like we're trending in that direction to do that. Again, we don't need perfection. We don't need, you know, guys to go out and be heroes. We just need, you know, to have consistent performances. So I feel like we know what we're going to get from our first 2 starters. Bullpen roles are starting to come around, and then, you know, just being able to clean some of those things up on the staff on Tuesdays and Sundays are going to go a long way.
Coach, one player that I've not really talked too much about is Ben Columbus, and I think you guys turned to kind of a grinder when we met with you back in February before the season began. Your thoughts about what you've seen from Ben, and what do you like about that young man?
Yeah, I think he's another one of those guys that the best is yet to come for him. I mean, you look at the stats, and it's been solid. You know, he's hitting over 300. Not a lot of extra base thump, which I think he's got more in there. Maybe as the weather warms up, we'll see some of that. We need that left-handed presence in our lineup because most of the guys that are everyday players have been right-handed hitters. So we really need some of that left-handed presence in the lineup. You don't want to get too right-handed facing guys that are fastball slider guys that he can kind of get on a roll against, same sequences facing all righties. So he can serve a bunch of different roles. I mean, he can hit in the 2-hole because he can handle the bat. We've hit him in the 4-hole because he puts the ball in play, and if you got a runner at third with less than 2 outs, he does a good job of that. Kind of used him at the back or part of the lineup to kind of break up some of the right-handed hitters. So I think the best is yet to come from him. I think he's only got maybe 50 or 60 at-bats right now. So as he gets more comfortable at the Division I level, I think you're really going to see him just get better and better.
Casey Burnham's another one of those guys that hits from the left side. Boy, he had himself a great day against Corpus Christi.
He did. He really was probably the main reason that game ended up the way that it did. I mean, he had the big 2-run, 2-out triple. He had a 2-out single. He got the bunt down and got to third base, put pressure on that way. That's really what kind of sparked us because we were kind of slow going out of the gates the first 2 innings there, and that really sparked us, and I think it sparked him as well. Yeah, with him, it's just a matter of, getting the bunts down, and you don't have to always get hits out of it, but just to kind of put that pressure on the defense and where they have to make a throw on the run, and then you look up, and even if it's not a hit, you get to second or third base. And then just putting the ball in play. I think that's the big thing where he needs to kind of make that move, and he knows that. Just putting the ball in play with 2 strikes. And, again, you look up, he's hitting whatever it is, 315, 320. His batting average ball in play has got to be pretty high, because, once he cuts down on those punch outs, I think you're going to see those numbers continue to improve.
How's he been defensively?
Amazing. Yeah, really, really good. I mean, he's been that eraser out there defensively in center field where he can go to each gap and go close on balls and really comes in on the ball really well too. So we can play him a little bit deeper to cut down some of those deep shots in the gaps because he really, really comes in on the ball well. That's a luxury to have as a center fielder. So he's done an amazing job there, and he brings a level of toughness. He's got hit by 10 pitches, and I mean, he said he got a 460 on base percentage hitting in the 9-hole. I mean, there's a reason that Bryce Matthews has as many RBI as he does. The guys in front of him are getting on base, and Bryce is cleaning them up.
Another guy that looks like he's really improved defensively, and maybe we've talked about this, is Gabe in left.
Yeah, absolutely. Gabe is he made an amazing catch in left field, crashing up against the wall. We've seen him play great right field. He's accurate with his arm. He's turned himself into a really good baseball player. And another one of those guys, he's got 50, 60 at-bats. I mean, he's hitting a home run every 10 at-bats or so. So good indicator of future success coming up for him as well.
You had just a 3-man umpire crew in Abilene. Is the conference now locked into 4 for conference games?
Yeah, I think we went to 3 during COVID, the 21 season for budget purposes. But yeah, I think we're back to 4, and it helps, and it does help having the ability to have replay as well whenever it's available at certain sites. So I know we did get one overturned against us. Well, it wasn't a conference game, but
NDSU.
Yeah, it was
last week.
Yeah, we picked a guy out on the field, and then apparently there was enough to see there. So yeah, it's nice that we're at least trending in that direction of having replay in our league.
Sure does help. All right, time now, folks, for our Husker Baseball Trivia Contest, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery. Your chance to receive $100 in scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery. Limit 1 winner per household for the entire season. And if you know the answer, we want you to text us the answer to our text line, 402-413-2400. Huskers currently have 2 regulars in the lineup hitting over 400. Who has the all-time record for Husker baseball for the highest batting average in a season? And this is with a normal starters at bats. Who has that record? If you know the answer, 402-413-2400. We'll tell you the right answer when we come back.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. UNL has been awarded over $14 million by the U.S. Department of Commerce to expand robotics research and teaching spaces, part of a $25 million award given to the state of Nebraska to advance robotics research. The funding will allow the university to educate and train the next generation of Nebraska workers, entrepreneurs, and innovators for careers of the future.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Looking for a car buying experience tailored to you? Start with Woodhouse, a trusted partner for automotive needs and a proud member of the Nebraska community. With 18 brands and 21 sales and service locations, our dedicated Woodhouse team is ready to provide you a convenient and seamless transaction from anywhere. Whether purchasing, selling, or servicing, experience the difference with Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Baseball season has arrived, and your local Cenex has all your favorite snacks and beverages for the game. So whether you're hitting the road for an away game, headed to Haymarket Park, or going to cheer on your favorite local team, make Cenex your destination for top quality fuel, your favorite snacks, and service from a local smile. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally at Cenex.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red. Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They're the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Will Bolt with you. It's our baseball show. We, into the break, asked our Nebraska Lottery trivia question: who has a single-season record in Husker baseball history for batting average? We had a lot of great guesses, including Will Bolt, Dan Johnson, Matt Hopper. You had Curtis Ledbetter popped in there 2 or 3 times.
That's
all
right.
Very good guesses.
Really good guesses there. Yeah,
Ken
absolutely.
Harvey is the right answer. You were very much had a front row seat to that 1990 season when he hit 478.
Yeah, in 1999. So that was a year. That was my freshman year in college. First, we won the Big 12 championship in Bricktown that year. Kind of got the program up and running there with that win against Baylor. I still recall looking up at the scoreboard at Bricktown and seeing Harvey and 500 next to his name. He's hitting over 500 in the Big 12 tournament that year at the end of the season. Not hitting 500 in the tournament, hitting 500 for the season at that point in time in late May. So he's just one of those guys that his skill set was so unique. What people may not realize about Ken is that he was a really good runner for a guy his size. Like, he could run a 6'7" in the 60. He could get down the line and 4.2 or better from the right side. That's good speed. So that Buck Belzer turf, he had a chopper. He had a chance to beat it out, and also he had some balls that dumped in. A guy with a big swing. Outfielders have to play deep on him, so he had some balls that fell in in between the outfielders and infielders. So you got to have a little bit of luck involved, but a guy like him can kind of lengthen and shorten the field a little bit, so there's more holes that open up. And heck of a hitter. I mean, just unbelievable hand-eye coordination. Man, and I think if he could have stayed healthy in the big leagues, he probably would have played.
Was he Rookie of the Year in the American League, I think?
He might have been, or he was definitely, I know he got off to an amazing start in his career and had some injuries derail him a little bit, but Ken's a great guy. Got a chance to catch up with him in the fall. He's still involved with the game, living down in Kansas City area after living here in Lincoln for a few years. So great guy, amazing hitter.
Jared in La Vista had the right answer. So, Jared, congratulations. You are the winner. From the Nebraska Lottery, Cash Blast from the Nebraska Lottery is back until April the 18th. Buy a 2x2 ticket and enter to be one of 14 winners of $5,000 or $500. Details at nelottery.com. 2x2, top prize odds, $1 in $105,000. So Ken Harvey, the answer to our trivia question, 478 average in that 1999 season. Sam in Omaha, Coach, want to know, did the metal bats at that time have something to do with that high batting average as well?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that last week, I think it was, about the bats. You look back at those old, they were BESR, was kind of I don't even remember what that stood for. Definitely a different metal than what we use now, the BB core. It's hard to say whether that had much to do with it. I mean, those bats were pretty hot back in the day. The balls were different, though. The balls were bigger seams, so the drag on them was more, so maybe that balances out a little bit. Now we play with a smaller seam baseball. I wouldn't sit here and say that the metal bats had much to do with what Ken Harvey did, because, like I said, I mean, you put in a wood bat in his hand, in the big leagues, and he hit 300. So he's just a heck of a hitter. And I think all things being equal, I think the technology today with the BB Core bats has kind of caught up with things, and the smaller seam ball. Like I said, I mean, you see guys now hitting. There's at least 3 or 4 balls hit 110 miles an hour in every game, and that was pretty commonplace back then as well.
John Cole, 2 years later, hit 418.
Yeah. Another one of those guys that could lengthen and shorten the field because he could bunt. He was a 6'4" runner. Third baseman had to play in on him, put the ball in play with 2 strikes. Similar type thing. I mean, that's what it takes to have those type of seasons. You've obviously got to be a great hitter and have a great swing, but if you can kind of make the holes open up for yourself, you're ahead of the curve there.
Which, Max is still over 400, and we still have over half the season to go. It's going to be hard for him to keep that there because he doesn't really get some of those type of hits.
I was going to say that's where, Max is maybe a little bit different where, he's not going to get a ton of infield hits or, bunt hits or anything like that. He just has an uncanny ability to cover the entire plate, and he knows who he is as a hitter, and that helps a lot too.
I don't think Alex even hit close to 400 in his Husker career at all either, but Alex would be more like Max, more drive the ball, doubles, that type of thing. So, all right, this week, K-State tomorrow night. This is the only game you're playing against the Wildcats this year. Usually it's home and home. This just one trip down there to play them this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it being 80 degrees. I mean, I feel like every time we go to Manhattan, including our quasi-home series, it ended up, being down there was cold. So looking forward to some warm weather when we go down there. They're playing well. They're 5-4 in the Big 12, swept Oklahoma. They've got a good team, and they, again, you don't necessarily look at the statistics, and they're not gaudy in a whole lot of ways, but they found ways to win. Going to be a really good challenge for us going down there tomorrow night.
This past weekend you wanted that series to be at home. It didn't work out. How far out do you work on non-conference? And I asked you earlier about the non-conference this past year. How far out do you work on those type of things?
A couple of years out.
Really?
But really what you run into is the conference schedule doesn't really get to you, until a little bit later. So then you're kind of in scramble mode to fill that bye week. And until we can kind of align with another conference maybe or add more conference series, it is a little bit difficult at times where you run into some scheduling quirks with that bye week. So, we would have liked to have played at home this weekend. I mean, that's exactly what we wanted to do, but it didn't work out that way.
A lot of times we've seen the bye week be later.
Yeah.
Does it rotate later, or do you know? You have that yet?
I think we have it now, but I couldn't tell you right now. I'm literally one of those coaches that I couldn't tell you who we play next Tuesday. This
and then
week.
It's going to change in 2 years with UCLA and USC coming into this mix.
Yeah, and that's what I say. We're going to probably play more conference weekends. That's better for our league.
Yeah.
Because then you can kind of align. You're not having to fill as many non-conference games. So it makes it a little bit easier to kind of align from a scheduling standpoint to where you have a strategy. And that's where the SEC has kind of got it figured out a little bit, where they've kind of got the strategy of, hey, this is what you need to do. And then they play so many conference games that when you get in league play, all those teams have really high winning percentages because they've scheduled a certain way in non-conference. Plus, they're obviously really good teams, but everybody's got a good winning percentage going in, so everybody's RPIs kind of just get bumped up that way as you get into league play. So, it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens with. Again, I just think there's a lot more change coming than maybe even we know about.
Could be. Hey, Dorothy Lynch, Homestyle Light and Lean Dressing, endless flavorabilities. K-State tomorrow, then you're off to Ann Arbor to play Michigan. And obviously the Wolverines had that magical run a couple years ago where they made it to the College Baseball Championship Series, came up short in their effort to win a national title. New coach, but yet an old coach, right? I mean, Tracy Smith back in the league, did a great job at Indiana, went to ASU, didn't work out for him there. But this is a guy who knows how to build a program in the Midwest.
Absolutely. Very, very good coach. Like you said, I mean, had a ton of success in Indiana. And, looking back at those Indiana teams that he recruited, that was a high school ballpark that they played in, and he was getting some of the best players in the country. Now they have a nice, ballpark that he was a big part of getting that built. So, done a great job. Michigan's off to a 5-1 start in league play, starting to kind of get it going a little bit. So, be another great challenge. Their left-hander on Friday night is one of the top pitchers in the not only in our league but in the country. So yeah, we've got a challenging week ahead of us.
Art in Los Angeles says, Greg, Will Bolt was not the answer to the question tonight, but he has a special stat. He was the only guy to start every Big 12 game in 1999.
I was not aware of that.
Okay, Art, not that I don't trust you, buddy, but I'm going to go check
Hey, I'm going to take
out.
your word for that. That sounds like a good stat.
I'm going to go dig through some box scores.
I'll take your word for that one, Art.
Have Jared or Seamus go dig those old box scores up, put that thing together. All right, we need to work a break in. Still time if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text, 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap it up with the coach next.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Hey, congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Husker fans, don't miss your chance to get a first look at new head coach Matt Rule and the 2023 Husker football team. Be in Memorial Stadium on Saturday, April 22nd for the annual Nebraska football red and white spring game presented by FNBO. Tickets are on sale now and are only $10 when purchased in advance and $20 on the day of the game. To secure your tickets today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red. The Huskers provide reliability on the field, and so does Kubota. Kubota's BX Series subcompact tractor is reliable, comfortable, and versatile. The BX is available in four-wheel drive with gross engine horsepower from 16.6 to 24.8. The BX Series can comfortably and efficiently perform a variety of daily tasks, including gardening, landscaping, and general property maintenance. Experience the Kubota difference. Visit nebraska-kubotadealers.com or visit Kubota of Omaha in Omaha, or Rush Kubota in West Point.
First Interstate Bank, built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com. Member FDIC. Back for the final few minutes of our baseball show for the week. The head coach with us. Let's head to the phones. Let's go down to Kansas. And Tom, good evening. Tom, you're up with Will.
Hey, Coach Bolt. Hey, Sharpie. How you guys doing tonight?
Tom, great to hear from you, man. Doing good.
All right. Well, hey, I'll make this short because I want to hear your answer. If it was up to me, I don't want to see you guys back in the North until April 1st. So my question to you is, for your scheduling, is it possible to play multiple times, like in California, like we used to go out to Frisco and then, down in South Texas and things like that? So we're not running into this problem where we're getting games canceled, moved around, because inevitably in college baseball, the RPI is what really matters, and we're getting stung by that. And the the national perception of the Big Ten in baseball, whether it be true or not. It's just kind of how it is. And I was wondering if there was any stipulations on what you can or can't do. And thanks for taking my call. Love the Husker baseball. Go Big Red.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Tom. Restrictions, I wouldn't say would be the right word. I mean, typically, historically, Nebraska's always played the first 3 weekends on the road, sometimes 4, and then you're home after that. So that's kind of been pretty consistent with what we've done. We've just run into a couple of bad marches here, and we've had the last 2 marches have been about as bad from a weather standpoint as you can possibly have, and there's obviously years where you've got multiple 70-degree days in March. So could we play on the road until April 1st? The budget issues kind of come into play with that as well. I mean, you have to remember we're flying commercial flights, and we're other teams are starting to get into conference play. So finding non-conference opponents in the South, not always easy. You have to go to school, obviously, too. So you can't stay down there and necessarily play for a week straight, in the South. So it is what it is. I mean, you kind of just have to deal with it. We want to try to play some home games as well, and get our guys. It's taxing, being on the road 3 or 4 weeks in a row. Our typical travel, this is what it looks like. We leave on a Thursday. We typically practice in the evening on that Thursday when we get at the opponent's ballpark, and if we're home before 2:30 in the morning, if our heads hit the pillow before 2:30 a.m. on early Monday morning, then that's a win. I mean, that very rarely happens. So you do that for 6 or 7 weeks in a row. I mean, you're really kind of taxing your team, and also, again, there's a budget issue that plays into that as well. You don't get the home revenue from the ticket sales, and also you're traveling a lot more. That's expensive to fly, stay in hotels, and do some of that stuff. So the only probably right answer is the college baseball season gets pushed back about 3 or 4 weeks, and then you just start a little bit later, go further into the summer. You play more games where the weather's a little bit warmer, and I think everybody benefits from that, because I think you're going to have more fans show up. You're going to have across the country. I mean, we obviously have amazing fan support, but it's not like that everywhere, especially when it's cold. So that's a conversation maybe for another night, but that's maybe a long answer to your question, Tom, about that travel. It becomes a little bit of a budget issue, and also, just from a standpoint of wanting to play at home.
We played a team last Tuesday night. North Dakota State doesn't have a home game till April 23rd, I think.
That's right. Yeah, and that's, again, they can't play. They can't do it. They can't schedule home games any earlier than that.
Yeah. Brian from Johnson said, Coach, I can't remember the reliever's name. He had a wicked right sidearm pitching. He was part of one of our World Series teams. I believe you were playing with him. We think it was Brett Jensen, right, that he's thinking of?
Yeah, Brett was a sidearm guy.
Yeah.
He was kind of he threw, his body was kind of straight up and down, but he threw from straight sidearm. Tom Ott was kind of a low 3/4 slot, too. So Tom was our closer on the 01 team. Brett was a closer on the 05 team.
A little bit like what Corbin's giving you right now.
Yeah.
With that sidearm.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, good luck this week. 4 road games, and then we're going to be back home for a little while. That'll be nice.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good luck, Will Bull, with us here tonight. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. 6 o'clock, first pitch tomorrow night. We're on the air pregame at 5:30 from Manhattan. Thanks to Cole for steering the ship for us tonight. We're back with Husker baseball tomorrow night right here on the HRN. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Cornerstone Bank proudly serves Nebraska with a full line of loan and deposit products. Cornerstone is large enough to handle all of your financial needs while offering the personal service you deserve and the local decision-making you expect from a family-owned community bank. Stop in or call one of the Cornerstone Bank locations near you to discover the Cornerstone difference. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Loan subject to approval.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students in Nebraska's Rake School of Computer Science and Management created software that is saving a Nebraska e-commerce company 34,000 hours of work per year. Created by a group of 5 Rake School students for their Design Studio Capstone project, this software is one of 300 real-world software solutions created by Rake School students.